got some bright hearts on the floor. 3 tallest towers in China. Look at this cool place, eh? Welcome to Global Hopper, everyone, and welcome to Shanghai. You see, Shanghai is famous for its skyline. Every time anyone visits Shanghai, they'll always take a picture by the Bund across the river to see the beautiful skyline on the other side. Now, the thing is, not many people actually cross the river to see what the area of the skyline actually look like up close. So it's my mission now today to make you guys see, to take you guys along with me to see what the beautiful, beautiful Shanghai skyline actually look like up close. But first thing first, let's look up and see what we can see. And this is the 3 tallest towers in China. The one over there, let me get it. The one over there, that one there, that is the tallest building in China and second in the world. Okay guys, let's go and have a wander around this most futuristic area of the city. Unfortunately, we don't really have much time because the flight left Osaka an hour and a half late, so that really squeezes the schedule that we have available here in Shanghai. Originally, I was planning to go and have a look at the pedestrianized Ningguang Road, which everyone goes. It's one of the most visited area, and also the Bund, of course, looking across the river. But because of the delay, that is no longer available, no longer viable. So I've decided to come directly to the skyline that you see from the Bund and show you what the actual area is like inside. So come along. Okay guys, check out the traffic. It's Tuesday evening, nearly 8 o'clock. The rush hour is at its tail. I'm now on a pedestrian pavement above the ground to show you the area. The most interesting area is actually behind me. So let's go and turn around. But let's check out the view again of these 3 giants. You see, when I first left for the UK in 1999, the one on the right was the only one which actually existed at the time. This one with a blue stripe on the left is the new build one. When we put ourselves slightly distance, you can see that this one actually has a top that looks like a bottle opener. The one in the middle is the latest addition. It was completed in 2010, I believe, or somewhere about. It's the second tallest building in the world. All 3 has a observation deck. The one on the right, 88th. The one on the left, 105. The one in the middle, 120 something. And facing the 3 giants are numerous smaller but nevertheless very cool looking, very grand looking buildings. They're actually just beyond the park. There's a park separating the 2 groups of buildings. I always find this area absolutely fascinating. My wife and I have been here for quite many a time, and each time we have really enjoyed it. This blue and red magnet thing has been here for a long, long time. Just such a cool area. In terms of how colorful the skyscraper, the business district goes, Shanghai is actually not the most colorful. I would think that belongs to either Shenzhen when it gets the light show every Friday and Saturday night, or Chongqing. Now, no one can mistake the one very cool looking building right in the middle ahead of us. That's the Oriental Pearl. That's perhaps the most iconic landmark of Shanghai, and it's one of the earliest buildings to be built in this area. Now, this area here, scattered and peppered, whatever verb you want to use, with skyscrapers, was relatively new. Now, when I first visited Shanghai in the 1999, just before the turn of the millennium, there was still an old saying in Shanghai, and that is 宁要浦西一张床，不要浦东一个房, meaning that there is, by the way guys, there's a river just ahead of us beyond the buildings. Across the river is the old district of Shanghai, Puxi. Where we are now is Pudong, the relatively new area. Now, the saying that I just said a little earlier, which means I'd rather have a bed in the old Shanghai area rather than a house in the new area, which is now here. Because this area used to be completely like a wasteland. Think of Dockland if you are a Londoner, then you get a sense of what this place used to look like, and hence the old saying. However, over the last few decades, that old saying has now become obviously obsolete. The housing prices here is, if not equal to the older area, but more, much more expensive. This Pudong area is more business dominated than anything else. Think of it, especially this part here, is a giant CBD. The Pudong area has now extended far more beyond just this local area. In terms of size, it's now equally as big as the Puxi or the old Shanghai area. Shanghai is the most prosperous and perhaps the largest city in China. Now, the reason I said perhaps is because I'm not sure, and nobody is sure, whether or not Chongqing is larger and how you calculate the area of Chongqing, because Chongqing is a bit of a special case. But anyway, that's beyond the topic of our video for today. So yeah, it's the most prosperous for sure. And this is the view that people tend to see from the other side. There is a massive, and I mean Absolutely massive roundabout with quite a nice view. So let's go and check it out. Oh, the IFC Mall is quite famous in China. It has quite a few outlets around the country and selling some really posh stuff. I think in order to gain access to the roundabout that I just mentioned, we might have to cut across it. But before we do that, I want to show you what's it like on the left. I've got a massive Cartier shop. Wow. And equally large Louis Vuitton. Talking about opulence. Sometimes when it gets cloudy, the top of the tallest building is actually hidden inside the clouds. Really quite a cool feeling. Okay guys, I've cut across the mall. I didn't show you the mall because it was really nothing special, just posh brand. No different to any other mall that you might find elsewhere. But we're back on the walkway. And making our way towards the roundabout. Okay, guys, just a quick observation. You see there are quite a lot of cars, right? A massive bus just went by, lots of cars. But Shanghai is actually very quiet. Now the reason for that is because most of them, 70%, maybe more, of the vehicles being used here are totally electric. And hence the only noise you can hear is the tire noise, no engine noise at all. And this is quite a view. Yeah, you see I told you about that building that resembles a can opener. Yeah, no noise, no engine noise at all. Right, okay guys, we're gonna make our way across to the massive roundabout and get a closer view there. By the way guys, the temperature is definitely much cooler than it was in Osaka. Right now I think it's around about 16, 17 degrees. In Osaka it was easily 23, 24. So it's cooler here than it was in Japan. Yeah, it's just a shame that we arrived so late that I don't really have time to show you much of the city apart from this most futuristic area. But fear not, we will definitely be back in China next year. It won't be Shanghai, but it will be something even cooler, I guarantee you that. Okay, this is cool. Got some bright hearts on the floor. Oh, and turned into leaves. Ah, the magic is happening up there. Cool. Okay guys, nearly there. Quite a lot of people about. But I tell you what, compared to Japan, the amount of people here is walking a pound. Japan was crazy. Okay guys, the crazy roundabout where everyone seems to gather. There's some really cool lights on the glass fences. Look at this cool place, eh? You can't ask for a better background. The Oriental Pearl is right here. Has been dominating the Shanghai skyline for years and years. Even though bigger and taller skyscrapers sprouted all around it, it still retained its regal. Still cool as ever. Wow. Look at the LED lights on the side of the buildings. The bridge rather. So awesome. Yeah, as I said guys, no engine noise. I think Shanghai in terms of EV penetration rate might be the highest in China, around about 70%, followed by the other big cities, Shenzhen for example, and Guangzhou. There are a lot in Beijing as well, but the thing with EV is that the colder the climate, the less efficient the battery becomes. And Beijing, especially in winter, can go down to as cold as -10. So the penetration rate is not quite as high as in Shanghai, but still absolutely amazing. There are some really cool restaurants. Absolutely amazing. I'm hungry looking at those restaurants. As soon as this video finishes, we're gonna head out to our hotel. We haven't even checked in yet. That's how squeezed time in terms of time that we got ourselves into. So Amber and her mom, they were having a well-earned glass of bubble tea whilst I go out and make a video for you guys. The other thing in terms of just how quiet the city is, Shanghai is the first Chinese city to ban honking. So it's now illegal to actually honk. However, there are still people doing that despite the requirements. Okay, I hope I can find the cafe where my wife and daughter is. You know, I've been watching lots of YouTube videos and people coming to Shanghai, foreign vloggers, and they say, yeah, how eerie it is for a city this quiet, this large, to be this quiet. It's very eerie. And I finally got what they are saying. Yeah. That's one of my beloved BYD. I think we might get a taxi here. Okay, now we are on a taxi going to our hotel. So I want to take this opportunity to show you around more of this absolutely amazing city. Guys, although I have only spent a very short period of time in Shanghai this time, it is heartwarming to see, you know, how much further it has come from the last time I was in the city. Even better than it was last time, and that's saying something. Shanghai, to be perfectly honest, I don't think, I mean, it's certainly one of top 3 cities in the world. I wouldn't call that exaggerating. All the taxis are electric. Anyway, guys, as I've said before, that Shanghai is the most prosperous city in China, and this fact is also reflected in the city's life expectancy. Now it's push. Sorry, got distracted by a Porsche. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that the life expectancy in the city is around about 83 years, and that is even higher than the UK average of 79. And if you consider where China has come from, the mere fact of that statistic itself is truly mind-boggling. In 1970s, out of the 12 billion people that we have, 10 billion were living in poverty. Today, in 2024, absolute poverty has been abolished in China. Okay guys, so we're now just crossing the tunnel. Above us is the Huangpu River, which if you're standing on the pond, you see the river. Now we're just cutting through the tunnel and entering the old part of Shanghai. Oh my god guys, that car, that vehicle on the left, crossing over. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. That's the BYD crazy SUV. It can do a tap turn. Those who are not familiar with the technology, means that it can turn 360 degrees on the spot. Additionally, it can actually swim, and I mean swim, no quotation mark. It can actually swim in the water. That's the first time I actually see it in real life. I've seen plenty of videos about that vehicle, but the first time seeing it in reality, which is awesome. Yeah, as I was saying, guys, in 1970s,
Even in 1982, when I was born, there were abject poverties all around the country, and now they were part of historical statistics and nothing more. The progress the country has made and the progress it is still making today is simply astonishing. No human history has ever achieved so much in so short a period. Okay guys, first look of the pushy parts of Shanghai. Remember the old saying I was telling you in the beginning of the video? That you rather have a bed here than having a whole flat or house on the other side of the river. And that obviously is no longer the case, but this is still considered to be the older part of the city. My mom has always been a big fan of Shanghai. Personally, Shanghai is absolutely amazing. However, it is not my favorite city in China. Right now, I would say perhaps Shenzhen. Conditionally, I'll say it. The reason is because I went there last time and I find it absolutely fascinating. My all-time favorite has always been Beijing because culturally very similar to me. Geographically, it's very close to where I was born. And historically, it's just amazing stuff. But since I've been to Shenzhen, I find that city absolutely amazing. So the hotel that we have booked is very close to the famous Ningguang Road, which is the pedestrian shopping street. But to be perfectly honest, guys, if you have seen my video previously, you know I'm from Shenyang, and I showed you a video of Shenyang Middle Street. I think Shenyang Middle Street is perhaps the best walking street in all of China. Anyway, guys, I think I was teaching a little bit of history to Amber. Guys, if you love shopping, then Shanghai will be your paradise. Oh, okay, guys, I understand now. This is Ningguang Road. This is the famous Ningguang Road which we just passed. As I said before, Shenyang's Zhongjie Middle Street, in my opinion, is the coolest pedestrianized shopping street in the whole of the country. That obviously is controversial and many people will disagree. But if you do so, go to Shenyang, check it out yourself. Okay guys, we have finally arrived at our hotel. Nothing special, nothing fancy, but comfortable, and that's the job. You hungry, Amber?
Yeah, very.
I heard you are very hungry. Okay, guys. Look, here's the thing. I will try
because the pedestrian shopping street is very close to where we are now. Amber is hungry, so am I, and so is his wife. So we're going to go to the pedestrian street and get some food. Hopefully we can get the video of the pedestrian street itself, but it depends whether or not we have time. So here's the thing. If the next video is pedestrian street, that means we have succeeded. If not, if something else, then that means we have failed in our mission. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the Shanghai I managed to show you. If you do, please like and share with your friends and family, and please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. It might be Shanghai or somewhere else entirely. Cheerio.